Olivia, and this is my project, Do LSE Students Experience a School Community Beyond the Boundaries of Campus? So a bit of background, I came to this project from a place of personal experience. I live in Zone 2 and I privately rent. And when I first moved to London in September, there was two things that I found really quite overwhelming. And it was the amount of information that there is about London and moving to London. And also that I couldn't find other LSE students that live locally. So I came to this project wanting to understand if this was other people's experiences as well. So it led me to my research question, which is the title of my project. And by community, I've incorporated both student relationships and school support for private renting. So at present, the school currently, for the LSE housing service, currently offers that you can contact them directly and offer some practical sort of support. And also they link to like the University of London Housing Guide, but they don't offer a lot of guidance themselves in terms of like, in contrast to KCL and UAL, who offer quite a lot of guidance on terms of like location and things like that. So I wanted to find out if this is something that LSE should be doing. So I did a survey and then I held 2 focus groups and it came to my findings, which I'll go on to. So my first finding was that LSE students are really dispersed across London. So as you can see from the heat map that I made from my survey, they're quite concentrated in Camden, Southwark and Tower Hamlets, but they go as far as Enfield, down to Bromley, across to Richmond. So it's quite a dispersed group all the way across London. My second key finding was that a lot of LSE students currently feel that they're not being supported in private renting. So 94% of my survey respondents answered that they had not used LSE's housing services in the process. And while some of these reported in the focus groups that they didn't find them useful, some also reported that they weren't even aware they existed. But this marketing issue aside, the things that they found not useful was a lot about location, that they wish they'd known transport links, what the local amenities were, rent prices, because even though LSE links to it's like a government rental heat map, people noted that this is just a median price. It doesn't explain like how much the cost of a living room might be in Camden. And these are all nuanced things that people do want to know. And another note was that international students in particular found navigating the London rental market quite confusing. There's a lot of different practices involved. There's a lot of various costs, in the wish that LSE had provided more direct guidance themselves on this kind of process. My final finding was that while 55% of my respondents did report that they were in contact with other LSE students in their area, which is definitely encouraging, a massive amount reported that they did not feel that there was a local LSE community. So that was 64% of people said that they didn't feel there was a local community. And then a further 82% responded that they would like to be able to meet other LSE students in their area. And in the focus groups, it came up that, especially obviously in masters, you've got so little time as it is, if you're constantly having to travel into campus to socialise, that they felt that put them at a disadvantage because they were spending so much time and money having to constantly travel halfway across London. So they said that their experience at LSE would have been improved by being able to meet people more locally in their local areas. So with all of this in mind, I've made some recommendations which I've split along 2 main themes. I'll do my first one, which is private rental support. So my first one is that LSE needs to market the housing services that they already have there. But my new recommendation would be that they set up like a student-led blog or guide. And this would include guide to local areas, myth busting, what to look out for, what not to look out for. But it came up in the focus groups that it's important that this is student generated. A lot of people noted that they valued the opinion of students, perhaps over staff, just because they perceive students as having like similar wants, needs, preferences. In line with this as well, I think the housing service could also set up Q&A sessions across the month of August that specifically target private renting. And because it got noted in the focus groups that whilst you can contact for specific questions, that it generates a lot more information. It's easier to bounce off people better in these sessions, and you get a lot more information from it. It feels a bit more casual. I'd also recommend that LSE can appoint course alumni reps, which are specifically there to be contacted about living in London and any worries or queries that students might have. And finally, for this theme, that LSE could set up a platform to incoming students so they can arrange shared private accommodation prior to coming. Because this happens already informally anyway through things like Spare Room with other non-LSE students, but people in my focus groups noted that it would be nice and less daunting to move to London when moving in with other LSE students. And my second theme along LSE local communities is that LSE talks a lot about community, and my findings showed that the LSE community is huge across London. It covers a massive geographical area. And I think that LSE already has a structure in place that is a very good model, which is the LSE Alumni Network, which runs by hubs, and there's reps like run each hub. So I recommend that we set up a North Hub and a South Hub at the moment, and that there's formally organised events that are run by student reps, but also informal group chats, because then people have the opportunity to like split off and like organically create their own friendships as well if they want to. But it got noted as well that it's important that these events are accessible and inclusive. So things in the focus groups was like that the events move around a bit, explore local areas, that there's events that don't include alcohol and things like that. And then my final recommendation would be that data continues to be collected and analysed on where students live, and this is made accessible to incoming students, because then if students are obviously know where other students live, that organically over time these LSE communities will strengthen on their own, in addition to these hubs as well. So I think all of these together could help create a better school community beyond the boundaries of campus. So that's all my recommendations.